Shalom, giving all praise and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom, Labakariam, Shah, Yasharallah. That's peace to the hopeful election of the nation of Israel. And we have emergency alert here. This came out about 4 hours ago. I get these alerts from this channel as well as other channels. But this channel, in particular, I think this guy is from out in Florida. This is New York Prepper. The guy's diligent. Yes, he's one-sided. A lot of these, he's a doomsday prepper. A lot of these doomsday preppers, they have their own opinions on why they're prepping. But nevertheless, we're here for the information. Some heavy information came out about 48 hours ago. We know that Putin, he made a heavy statement, towards the UK and towards America. So he basically turned those nuclears a wreck. Those bombs. Now is coming out that he put one in the clip. In other words, he loaded up one of his silos. So as we ending this year out, going into 2023, expect the unexpected, because the people in the world will be caught off guard. But us men of the hopeful elect, and our eyes is on the prize. Akim Akwaf. Man, the brothers out there on the corners teaching our apostles. We can't stress this enough. Watch as well as pray. Pay attention. The Lord mean it. He will come as a thief in the night. So it behooves us to pay close attention to these videos that's coming out. The apostles, the men, everybody, they banging these videos out 24/7. These videos are not in vain, because we speak in the Lord's words. And sooner or later, things are going to pop off. Now, will there be a dirty bomb attack over there in Ukraine? We don't know, but this is just the news that's coming out. We know that all thermonuclear destruction doesn't happen until the MOTB, but there will be a false flag leading up to that. That's going to push us into the fourth industrial complex. So we got to be on a high alert at this point. I'm going to let this play, but before I do, I'm going to just read the scripture. This is Jeremiah, this chapter, man. This whole chapter. It's coming to pass. These main pieces in this chapter. Jeremiah 50, verse 25. Yahweh hath opened his armory. Because this is all, the Lord created the smith that blew off the coal. What is that? Isaiah 54, 16. So this is the Lord's armory. This is his doing. This is his war. Okay? Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. And that's what these bombs are about. See, a lot of this, this scare is going to be centered around nuclear destruction. That's going to be a lot of the scare once they announce this on the news and you start getting these red alerts on your phone. They're going to have the children prepping in schools. They're going to close the churches down. It's going to come wrapped up in a bundle, man. It's going to be so much going on, and people are not going to be able to get their minds together. But we of the hopeful elect, we've been preparing for this through the Spirit. Only Yahweh puts the Spirit on you to prepare. So we prepare only because the Spirit is making us prepare. So it says, Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. This final war is going to be all about his indignation on the wicked. Right? For this is the work of Yahweh of hosts, which is the Lord of troops, Lord of armies, the Lord of Sabaoth, Alashadya, in the land of the Chaldees. And that's this man's code word for America. Code, okay? Because all the bombs will be shot here. This is the lake of fire. So let's get into a little bit of this.
What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NY Prepper. It is Thursday, December 15th, 2022. And I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 2:08 a.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. It's the middle of the night. I was about to go to bed, but I was doing some research and I found some really concerning information that I want to share with you. So I have a bad feeling that something big is about to happen. And in case you missed the major breaking news yesterday, there was apparently a Russian ICBM that was loaded into a silo, and that ICBM is one of Russia's newer ICBMs, the RS-24 Yars, and it's a solid fueled ICBM. It's one of the few solid fueled ICBMs that Russia has, and they loaded it into a silo. So that's very concerning. We also have information that Belarus is on the verge of invading Ukraine. There was some video footage released on social media, and actually it was released by the Belarus Ministry of Defense. So it actually wasn't really social media. It was officially released by the Belarus Ministry of Defense, showing Belarusian tanks and armored vehicles with war markings on them. Okay, so war markings are just paint that you put on your tanks or armored vehicles to distinguish your tanks from the enemy's tanks, much like Russia did when they invaded Ukraine. They painted the Z or the V or the O on their tanks. And so apparently Belarus has now marked their armored vehicles, their tanks and whatnot, with some kind of war markings. And there's a video that was released showing that. And apparently the Belarusian military has been moving its forces to the border of Ukraine. We also have Serbia building up their forces on the border of Kosovo. And there's some new video footage that was leaked out on social media showing just a trainload of tanks, Serbian tanks, moving to the Kosovo border. But on top of all of that, we have some strong words from the Russian diplomat to the UN, and he said that the world is on the verge of basically a nuclear war. And Russia is also warning the U.S. not to send Patriot missiles to Ukraine. And on top of all of this, today, or actually not today, I'm sorry, yesterday, the 14th, there were over 35 emergency action messages, which is just a massive amount of emergency action messages in a single day. So I want to just update you guys
Hey,
on.
they getting ready. The Lord is getting ready his forces. Akim, Akwath. The time is now. Time is short. The time is short. This is Matthew 24, verse 3. As he sat upon, this is Yahushua sitting upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Now, at this time, they thought the Roman world was going down. Okay, this is eon, because the world here represents the age, but they didn't know, it was still about 2,000 more years to go. They didn't know at this time. But Yahushua was hitting them with the timepieces in this chapter. He was letting them know something that was going to happen in 70, which probably was about maybe 40 to 45 years later, after Yahushua ascended. Then we had to go through the falling away. Then we had to go through the Atlantic slave ships. You still had curses that we had to go through from Deuteronomy all the way up to this time point, the Great Awakening. It started with Abba Bivens, who was Elijah through the Spirit, if you can receive it. He turned the father's hearts, the son's hearts back to the father. Then you had the 3 taught the 7, who taught our apostles, who we follow today, the apostles of Great Millstone. So it all connects together. And we at the end, now the Great Awakening has started. Ezekiel 37, the bones, man. So it's a full outcry of prophecies all through the air. So the Lord was summing a lot of this up with this chapter here. So it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. And that's happening right now. A lot of people are being deceived. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many, but the elect won't be deceived. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So what we just heard, man, the wars We know the war is going on in Ukraine, but there's so many rumors. There's a lot of things about the brew in next year. A lot of things, man. What the Lord doing at this thing? It's just the calendar we got. It's the calendar that we go by at this time. You know, it's still the Most Yahweh's time frame. So the time is short on Esau's rulership. He has a bound that he cannot cross. Okay, so it says, you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. We're going to hear these wars, but the end is not yet. Why? Because we still got Revelations 13 and 16, and that's coming fast. The MOTB is speeding. They're speeding at the same time. It's going to make sense real soon why he made this statement as you're hearing about these wars. Jacob's trouble is going to hit. It's all going to hit. Man, it's going to be gruesome, man. So, but the spirit, I had another scripture. Spirit just took it from me. Okay, that's what the spirit. Okay, giving all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash, Akim Akwath, man. Get ready. This thing is going down. Shalom.